The silence before the storm is always the most dangerous. And tonight that silence just shattered into 1,000 pieces. Because after weeks of speculation, after endless rumors swirling through the WWE universe, after The Miz stood in that ring running his mouth like he owned the place, the Viper just reminded everyone why you never count out a legend. Randy Orton is back, and what we just witnessed wasn't just a return, it was a statement written in violence. What you're about to see changed everything. This wasn't your typical comeback. This was brutal. This was calculated. This was the kind of moment that reminds you why wrestling isn't just a sport, it's poetry written with bodies, and Randy Orton just authored a masterpiece with The Miz's career hanging in the balance. So buckle up, because by the time we reach the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the entire WWE locker room just got put on notice. Before we dive into this absolute chaos, I need something from you. If you love moments like this, if you live for the shock, the awe, the pure electricity of professional wrestling, then you're in the right place. SLAMZONE is your home for the most intense breakdowns, the deepest analysis, and the realest reactions to everything happening in the squared circle. And here's the thing, we're building something special here. A community. A family of people who understand that wrestling isn't just what we watch, it's what we feel. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Join us. Be part of this journey. Because trust me, what's coming in the weeks ahead is going to blow your mind, and you don't want to miss a single second. Smash that notification bell too, so you're the first to know when we drop new content. And drop a comment below telling me what you thought of this Orton moment. I read every single one, and your voice matters here. Now, let's get into this destruction. SmackDown opened with The Miz standing center ring, microphone in hand, doing what The Miz does best, talking. But this wasn't just any promo. You could feel the arrogance dripping from every word. He's been on a roll lately, thinking he's untouchable, thinking he's climbed back to the top of the mountain. The crowd? They weren't having it. Boos rained down from every corner of the arena, but The Miz fed off it. He thrives in that hatred. He was dressed in his expensive suit, that smug grin plastered across his face, telling everyone how he's the most must-see WWE superstar in history, how he's conquered everyone put in front of him, how there's nobody left who can challenge his reign of dominance. The crowd was restless. You could sense they wanted anyone to shut him up. The Miz paced back and forth, soaking it all in, his voice getting louder, his gestures more dramatic. He started calling out names, legends, current superstars, anyone with the guts to step up and face him. And then he said something that would prove to be a massive mistake. He said that all the so-called legends of WWE were washed up, sitting at home, too afraid to step back into his ring. His ring. The arena lights flickered. Just for a second. Just long enough to make everyone pause. The Miz stopped talking. His expression shifted just a fraction from arrogance to confusion. And then, silence. Dead silence. The kind that makes your heart pound because you know something is about to explode. Then it hit. That unmistakable sound. The opening notes of Voices by Rev Theory tore through the speakers, and the entire building erupted. I mean, absolutely erupted. The roof nearly came off the place. People jumped from their seats. Cameras flashed everywhere. Because everyone knew. Everyone understood what that music meant. The apex predator was in the building. Randy Orton stepped out onto that stage, and the energy was different. This wasn't a man returning for a nostalgia pop. This wasn't a feel-good moment. The look on his face told you everything you needed to know. His eyes locked on The Miz in the ring, cold and calculating. No smile. No wave to the crowd. Just pure intensity. He was dressed in his signature ring gear, methodically making his way down that ramp with the kind of confidence that only comes from years of being one of the most dangerous men in WWE history. The Miz was backing up now. You could see it. That bravado, that cockiness from seconds ago? Gone. Replaced with something real. Fear. Actual fear. Because standing across from Randy Orton isn't like standing across from anyone else. The man is a third-generation superstar with venom in his veins and a legacy built on destroying anyone who crosses him. The Miz's eyes darted around, looking for an escape route, looking for backup, but there was nowhere to go. Orton slid under the bottom rope with that snake-like smoothness. The Miz was talking now. You couldn't hear exactly what over the roar of the crowd, but you could read his lips. He was backpedaling verbally and physically, trying to talk his way out, hands up in that universal "wait, let's think about this" gesture. But Orton? He wasn't interested in conversation. He'd heard everything he needed to hear. This was about sending a message. The Miz made a desperate move. He threw the microphone at Orton and charged. Huge mistake. Orton sidestepped effortlessly, and The Miz crashed into the corner turnbuckle. The crowd was on their feet now, sensing what was coming. Orton moved like a predator, grabbing The Miz by the back of his expensive suit jacket, spinning him around, and delivering a massive European uppercut that snapped The Miz's head back. Then another. And another. Each one echoing through the arena. The Miz crumpled against the ropes, barely able to stand. But Orton wasn't done. Not even close. He whipped The Miz across the ring into the opposite ropes. The Miz bounced back, and Orton caught him with a picture-perfect power slam that shook the entire ring. The impact was devastating. The Miz lay there, gasping, staring up at the lights, realizing that every word he'd spoken minutes earlier had just come back to haunt him. The crowd was chanting now. RKO, RKO, RKO. The sound was deafening. Orton stood over The Miz, and that familiar stance, the one every wrestling fan in the world recognizes, started to emerge. He was pounding the mat, one fist driving into the canvas, that look in his eyes becoming even more intense. The Viper was coiling. This is the moment everyone waits for. The moment that can come out of nowhere and end everything in a heartbeat. And right here, I need you to do something. If you're feeling this energy, if this moment is giving you chills, hit that like button right now. Show some love to SLAMZONE. Share this video with your wrestling friends, because moments like this, they need to be experienced together. We're building something special here, and every subscribe, every like, every share helps us grow this incredible community. Drop a comment and tell me, is Randy Orton the greatest wrestler of this generation? Let's debate in the comments. Now, back to this absolute chaos. The Miz was struggling to his feet. He didn't know where he was. His expensive suit was disheveled, his hair a mess, his confidence completely shattered. He turned around slowly, groggily, straight into Orton's waiting arms. And then it happened. In one fluid, explosive motion, bang. The first RKO. Out of absolutely nowhere. The Miz's body went limp, crashing face first into the mat with sickening force. The sound of his body hitting the canvas echoed through the entire arena. The place went absolutely insane. 20,000 people losing their minds simultaneously. But here's where it gets interesting. Orton didn't go for the pin. He didn't celebrate. He just stood there, staring down at the Miz's motionless body with that cold, emotionless expression. And slowly, so slowly it was almost terrifying, the twisted smile started creeping across his face. That smile that says, I'm not finished with you. The referee was checking on the Miz. Medical personnel started moving toward the ring, but Orton waved them off. He bent down, grabbed the Miz by his hair, and forcefully pulled him back to his feet. The crowd's cheers turned into a mixture of shock and anticipation. The Miz could barely stand. His legs were like jelly. His eyes were glazed over. He was completely defenseless, held up only by Orton's grip. This is where Randy Orton's psychology is unmatched. This is where you see the sadistic brilliance that's made him one of the most compelling performers in WWE history. He wasn't doing this just to win a match. There was no match. This was about making an example. About reminding everyone what happens when you disrespect the legacy he's built. About showing the entire roster that the Viper never truly leaves, he just waits for the perfect moment to strike. The Miz's head was bobbing. He had no idea where he was, no ability to defend himself. Orton positioned him perfectly. The crowd knew what was coming. The anticipation was torture. And then boom, the second RKO. Even more devastating than the first. The Miz's body crumpled like a rag doll, completely unconscious before he even hit the mat. The impact was so brutal, so final, that the entire arena gasped. Medical personnel rushed the ring immediately. Orton stood in the center of that ring, arms raised, soaking in the reaction. The crowd was giving him a standing ovation, a mix of awe and shock at what they'd just witnessed. His music hit again, but it almost felt unnecessary. The statement had been made. The Miz lay motionless on the canvas, multiple referees and medical staff surrounding him, and Randy Orton walked up that ramp the same way he came down, cold, calculated, and absolutely dominant. This return wasn't about championships or titles or winning matches. This was about legacy. This was about respect. Randy Orton has been doing this for over 2 decades, and in a business where younger talent constantly tries to prove themselves by disrespecting what came before, Orton just reminded everyone that legends are legends for a reason. You don't talk trash about the greats and expect no consequences. You don't claim their era is over when they can still go out there and dismantle you in minutes. The aftermath is what's really fascinating. The Miz had to be helped to the back. Social media exploded. The entire WWE universe was buzzing about what this means going forward. Is Orton back full-time? Was this a one-time message? Who else might be on his list? These are the questions that make wrestling beautiful: the unpredictability, the storytelling, the moments that blur the line between scripted entertainment and real emotion. What we witnessed wasn't just a beatdown. It was a masterclass in presence, in psychology, in understanding how to captivate an audience without saying a single word. Randy Orton's greatest strength has always been his ability to make everything feel important, to make every move count, to turn simple actions into unforgettable moments. Before we wrap this up, I need to say thank you. Thank you for being here, for watching, for being part of the SLAMZONE family. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it right now. We've got incredible content coming: breakdowns, predictions, deep dives into the stories that matter. Hit that bell so you never miss an upload. Share this video with anyone who loves wrestling because these moments need to be celebrated and discussed. And comment below with your thoughts. What did you think of Orton's return? Was this justified? What should happen next? Your engagement makes this channel grow, and I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. Randy Orton's return reminded us all why we fell in love with wrestling in the first place. It's about those larger-than-life characters who can command a room with just their presence. It's about justice being served when arrogance goes too far. It's about the unpredictability that keeps us coming back week after week, never knowing when lightning will strike. The Miz learned a painful lesson: never underestimate a legend. Never assume someone's done just because they've been away. And never, ever poke the viper unless you're prepared for the consequences. 2 RKOs later, The Miz won't soon forget what happens when you cross Randy Orton. This is SLAMZONE, and we'll see you in the next video with more incredible wrestling content. Stay awesome, stay passionate, and keep living for these unforgettable moments. Peace out.